Matt Fitzpatrick, this guy came on the truck and they were freaking out because they didn't have any spikes. And he plays those orange ones with a I guess they're stingers, but they're metal, they're nails, but they have that little orange buckle.
Yep.
And he came on the truck. He was like, dude, I don't have, I need some spikes. And luckily Connor was on the truck, and Connor opened up like the Bryson golf first aid kit, which is a suitcase with like gloves and tees. And he opens up it's a suitcase, dude. It's like this fucking big.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. We are at the Ryder Cup fully equipped episode 304. Is it 304 or 305? 304? 304.
304 sounds right.
304 sounds feels good. Jake, how are you?
Hi. I'm good. You and I are busy men.
We are busy. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving pieces. Young Jake, and we're doing our best. We got the old mans out at the Ryder Cup this week. Obviously it's just bedlam here in Bethpage, but we're going to start the show. We have a few topics to cover. The first thing we're going to talk, I want to talk about your UST trip.
Yeah.
Find out a little bit about that, because that sounded pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Second, we're going to talk a little bit about Ryder Cup, just like kind of what happens. I'll give you guys kind of an insight in like how this all works equipment wise, like what happens and what absolutely does not happen. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the counts, just about the clubs in play, some of the trends that we see, and because essentially this is the hottest 24 golfers in the world. Essentially, there's an argument to be made, but there's a lot of good golfers, a lot of hot golfers playing in the Ryder Cup. So we'll go through their bags a little bit, pick apart some of the trends, some of the most played products that we see, and then we'll end the show with our Ryder Cup picks of who's going to win this thing and what we think is going to happen. So I'm going to leave the floor to you there, Sonny Boy. First of all, where was this UST? I don't even remember. Like, you told me 100 times. I have no idea where it was. What did you do?
So UST hosted a media event that was it was really cool for the media that showed up, because it was just me, Knudsen, and then Ryan Hawk from Hackers Paradise. So we had some really good access to things, and then they just had a bunch of their influencers and like their ambassadors there to hang out, and I actually know a bunch of them, which was kind of cool.
Who are their ambassadors, or what ambassadors do they have?
So they've got Rati Tham, who's he's the biggest thing that's ever come out of Thailand. Like Rati. He's just an absolute unit. He's a friend of mine. He's here in Chicago. He's an online instructor. Yeah, he hits. Yeah, I was happy because we were testing some shafts, and I hit 175 ball speed twice, Johnny.
That's moving.
It was moving, dude. And then the very first shot that Rati hit after my 175 was still on the quad was 186. So I felt terrible about myself. But he's also like 6 foot, 15.
Yeah, he's a unit.
And, yeah, he's got some size on me. And then they've got Fairway Fox. His name's Brandon, and he's a great dude. He hosts some events. I believe he's in like the Fresno, California area. And then also Kevin Paul. Kevin Paul is another instructor online, does a great job. Also hits the ball a mile. It was fun. We ended up in a 7v7 scramble when all of us were hitting at the same time. Like, oh wow, it was just 14 shots in a row.
Right.
and then to the balls.
Right.
But Kevin was hitting the ball a long way. It was fun to try to keep up with him. Because I was on one team, and then him and Rati were on the other team, which was kind of nuts. But I was able to keep up with Kevin, which is pretty crazy because he's like a low 180s ball speed guy. So yeah, it was tons of fun. And then they had Ellie was out there, formerly putting with Ellie. It's now I don't know what her last name is, but she does a ton of stuff overseas with she's actually in New York with you. She's cheering on Team Europe over there.
Okay.
And then who else? Can't think off the top of my head. That might have been.
How were the?
Oh, and then Amber, she was fantastic. Very good golfer. Amber? She's got Amber. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name, but Amber K. Okay. And she was fantastic. She's an aspiring female pro.
Amber Kacharian?
Yeah, I think it's Hold on, I have it, and she has the pronunciation in her bio because she's smart. It's Amber Kirkendall.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong person.
Yeah, Amber Kuy Kendall basically is how it's spelled, and she was lovely. First off, a hell of a player. I think the entire scramble was pretty much my drive and her second shot. Like she was phenomenal, and then Ellie made a bunch of putts. I was also the line guy in the scramble. Like I'm a terrible putter, so I volunteered as the line guy,
Right.
which was very helpful. But yeah, so USC had us out there at Briggs Ranch, which is a Dormy Network property in San Antonio, or just outside of San Antonio, I guess. That was my first Dormy Network experience, and oh my goodness,
How is it?
do they know how to do it? That was phenomenal. So we had
what is the Dormy Network? Is it just a group of golf courses that are like branded a certain way? Like I don't.
So I found out a lot about Dormy Network while I was there
Okay.
because I got incredibly curious. It is a branch of golf courses that exist for the sole purpose of destination golf. So to be a member, so first off, there are no memberships to individual courses.
Okay.
So to be a member, you have to be a member of the whole network. And
Isn't that
basically the way it
Isn't
works.
Sweeten's Cove one of the Dormy Network courses, or no?
That's a good question. I
We'll
don't
figure that
actually
out
know.
later. Keep going.
Yeah. So to be a member, you have to join the entire network, and essentially you have to stay on property to play even a single round of golf at their place. But once you get there, the golf is included in your, I believe the golf is included in your membership, but like you got to pay for the lodging, and then all the food and drink and stuff is in your membership. So it just goes on like your statement. So it's a very
Right.
popular option for stuff like this, where they host people for events and you bring people onto property. But once you're there, the golf is pretty much unlimited. Like you can do whatever you want once you're there. But the staff was the friendliest staff that I've ever seen. Like I thought Cabot was the friendliest staff I've ever seen. This staff put Cabot people to shame. It was insane.
Wow.
The accommodations were amazing. We all had our own rooms with our own bathroom, conjoined with like a common space. There was 4 of us in one casita, it was called.
Casita. Yeah.
Casita.
En español. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So there was 4 of us in one of those, but we all had our own bedroom, our own bathroom, which was really nice. Obviously, as you know, fully grown adults, it's nice not to share things.
Yeah.
And then the golf course was great. It was a very fair golf course. Like you could be a 12 handicap and enjoy that, and you could be a +4 and enjoy that golf course.
Okay.
We played tees that were very friendly to everybody. So like me, Rati, and Kevin were kind of talking that it would have been fun to go back there and probably play the very back tees, which I think were 7,500 yards.
Okay.
We topped out at like 62, I think, but it was still very fun. Like there was a bunch of risk reward. You know, it was, hey, if you bomb driver, hit it here, but you got to land it right there.
Right.
There was one drivable par 4 that I hit it. I hit it to like 18 feet on the last day, which was fun.
Okay.
But yeah, it was beautiful. It was an amazing place.
And
what
what
was
was
the other cool thing about Dormy is you can't live within 75 miles, I think they said, of a Dormy property.
Oh wow, because they want you to stay.
They don't want people to have access to play it like every day, basically.
Right.
So the course is pristine at all times because the amount of play that it gets is very limited.
What are they getting for memberships? How much are people paying to get into this thing?
That I have no idea. I couldn't find out.
I want to know that.
I think it's like 25 grand.
Like a year?
For your initial access. And then you pay a lot for the events. Like one of the people that were with us said that they host events there, and like one of their events was like, by the time they had, I think it was 24 golfers or something, all said and done for like 4 days, it was like 60 grand.
My God.
So Dormy makes their money off of accommodations and the luxuries that they provide while you're there. But they're all worth it. It was insane. Like I want to travel to all of them now. I want to find the other courses and play.
They have Gray Bull, they have Victoria National, they have
Victoria National.
Dormy, whatever it's called, the course, like their Dormy course. They have the one that you played, and they have a couple other ones, 2 or 3. They have 7 courses to I'm looking online right now. Interesting. Okay, last question I have on this event. What was the point of the event? Just to get UST people together? Was there like a testing, component to this thing, or what? Give me the scoop.
Yeah, so Danny walked us through the new technology of the shafts. It's the shaft lineup that Ben Griffin has been playing.
Yeah.
Ricky Fowler's in it now. Akshay Bhatia has one in a fairway wood.
Blades
Buckley has a bunch
Brown
of them.
has it in his driver.
Blades Brown just switched to it.
Yeah.
Gary Woodland was testing it. I think over this offseason, like once we get back to the normal PJ Tour schedule after the Ryder Cup, I think you're going to see a lot of people in these shafts. They're very different to me than anything UST has produced before. I think they're really leaning into the fact that some of their profiles might have been just a little bit too soft for the modern golfer.
Right.
So you look at a kid like Blades Brown, right? At his size, at his age, he moves it. And for him to switch into a UST product, just on like if you just said that as a general statement, like Blades Brown is playing a UST driver shaft, a lot of people would have been like, huh? Like that doesn't make much sense, but they've leaned into it now. The new version of the white too. So I've had the one since March, since at the API when we were the first, you and I were the first 2 non-UST employees to have one of the shafts. And that one that we tested, the V1, was a telephone pole, very little feel, a lower modulus graphite. I ended up finding out through this thing, and they have a V2 now that is much more mortal and consumer friendly, and that was the one that I was moving. Like I said, that was the first time I've ever seen 175 on a launch monitor.
Wow. Okay.
And that was with a TD Max 9-degree head, like nothing
crazy.
It was just a stock head with like 2 8-gram weights, nothing insane, and 45 1/4 inches, like nothing crazy.
Right.
But it was insane. The thing was moving it. It's also really, really, really stable. I mean, there's a bunch of tech stuff that'll come out once the shafts actually launch, but it's going to be, I think this might be the hump that people need to get over any potential Ventus fatigue that might exist in the world right now.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be up to the fitters. Yeah.
You guys hit some stuff, ate some food, you made a couple of new friends, and that was your trip. So for the people at home, a big part of this job is traveling to go see the OEMs. That's especially, not just during the launch season, but kind of all year. Everybody's launching products. So between Jake and I, we go to a lot of things. Like we have a PXG event coming up in October. There's always something going on. There's always an event to go to. But Jake is much more of a shaft head than I am. So the UST thing is just absolutely flawless place for you to. What a perfect place for you to be. Just a perfect scenario for the team. I love it.
It's really fun. Yeah, it's fun to talk to everybody too. Like,
was Scooter there? Did Scooter go?
Scooter didn't make it. He got, from what I heard, he got snagged up by the Callaway team to play in some sort of invitational or something.
Yeah, he played with Kellen and they won in the member guest.
Oh, well, at least he won because he was supposed to play in my group for 2 days and he ditched me. So
no, him and Kel,
at least he won.
He was Kellen's emergency partner in the member, and they won in the member guest, and they won.
Got it. Okay, well, fair enough.
That's why he wasn't there. Yeah. Okay, well, welcome back to Civilization, young Jake, and
for a couple of days.
I think I got my UST shafts. Scooter sent me a blue and a white. I think it actually arrived at my house today. So, along with
you're gonna love the blue.
Along with my Rory Protos box showed up today, so I'm excited to get my hands on those babies. Huh?
I got my Titleist stuff today.
The full kit?
Yeah, it just in swarms came at me.
It's a big box. It's an overwhelming feeling when the Titleist stuff starts showing, because you get balls, you get gloves, you get clubs. And unwrapping those things, because Titleist puts so many stickers on their clubs, so you gotta really get in there with a gooby gun and clean those things up. It's a whole thing.
Get the torch, the steel wool, and the goo gun ready.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Ryder Cup, because that's the hero of the week. Obviously, it's Bethpage Black. I'm on site. I'll be on site until tomorrow's my last day, because truth be told, like, as far as equipment content's concerned, there's not a ton to do at a Ryder Cup. So Ryder Cups are historically you show up ready to rock and roll. So they really don't have an OEM presence here. Like there's no OEM content teams here. There's one truck. If you guys saw my social feed, True Temper historically has been the only truck, and it's literally just to do regrips and loft and lie checks and just general maintenance. So no one's going in there and testing stuff. So like just for examples, Bryson regripped his clubs again today, or yesterday. So Connor was in there with the cement. Connor did it because nobody wanted any part of it. So Connor got the nod. So he did that. And then, I even found myself in there working today. I did to regrip a 3-wood for Harris English, and because he has a ping, like an old ping 3-wood, and he puts his on a clock. He puts his grips on at like if a 12 o'clock is square, he puts them on at like 11:58, like just slightly open. And the 3-wood that the last time I got regripped, it was a little too open, and he kind of looked at me. He's like, "Can you make this a little like just a tick stronger?"
Yeah.
So I was just standing there like, I'll do it, because I've never regripped his clubs before, but I've seen KO do it, and I've seen those guys in the truck do it. So I'm like, okay, I think I could do this. And Randy on the truck was like, yeah, you do it. I don't want to fuck that one up. I'm like, oh, that's fine, I'll do it. I don't care. So I got in there and did it. And I did it right, and he was happy, and I didn't get any complaints. So I got in there and got my hands dirty, earned my keep on the truck today. But back to the story. There is like the only thing happening gear wise, to be honest, is Colin Morikawa put the Spider Tour V in, which I guess he did on Monday or Sunday. I think he decided to put it in, which is like the 9th or 10th putter of the year for him. He's just all over the map putting wise. But it was actually pretty cool head. You guys can see pictures on the IG, and I think Jack's gonna write it up in his tour report. But it's got like a I forget what they call the face, and you might know the name, Jake, but it's like an aluminum face. Like it's a milled face, so it's not like a pure roll insert.
So it's fly cut too. It's like it looked from the photos too. It looked like it was a little bit deeper. So he still wants to feel some softness, essentially.
He does, but those inserts tend to increase the ball speed. It's kind of like that lab insert. Like it's got some pop to it. So I've always been curious. I was curious when I saw the insert. I'm like, well, he must have an aversion. Like the pure roll must be overly soft for him. And so the only way to make a hard face softer is to scrape lines into the face to make it softer. And so it had a little bit of that, but it's a cool putter. He was out there doing some drills, but that's the biggest equipment story of the week. And we're going to get to the golf balls and all that stuff in a second. But, even when I was working at WRX and there'd be a Ryder Cup, I'm always like, okay, what's going on? Like equipment wise. And, I'd be texting the reps and like nothing, like there's nothing happening because we're not even there. So, oddly enough though, Adrian Rietveld is here because I saw him out walking with Rory.
Sneaky boy.
He was out there walking with Rory and Tommy, which is very Adrian, just to make sure that his guys are dialed.
I love that. Yeah.
And he didn't tell me he was coming. So I was like, well, like, of course you're here. Of course you're here working like it's Ryder Cup. But he was out there with the quad and doing his deal. I don't know what they were working. I have no idea what he was doing. But
did you see the photo that came across in our edit Slack today?
No.
The banner. So there's a banner out there, and it's yet to be confirmed if it's actually on site because this one was in like a park in New York. But there's a banner out there where they used everybody's 2021 photos. So Scotty has a ping driver in this big banner.
Okay.
That's up in the middle of New York somewhere. It's Scotty in a ping, Xander in a paradigm, and then Russell Henley and Ben Griffin and Cam Young are like they didn't even Photoshop them into USA gear.
Right.
So it's a big ad for Titleist. Like because it just big Titleist set. And I texted a few of the guys and I was like, hey, how do you feel about the PGA just not caring about your brand whatsoever?
Yeah, whatever.
And I'll have to send that to Mark so he can throw it in there for people to see. But we all had a good laugh out of that one. Anyhow, sorry, I had to throw that in there. Go ahead.
No, that's funny though. So let's talk a little bit about, because this is always the topic of for first thing, as far as like one of the things that always comes up around the Ryder Cup, and I think this got put to bed at the President's Cup a couple of years ago, about the ball switching, about who's going to decide to play what ball, because it used to be a thing. You each squadron would have to pick what golf ball, and there was different standards that were set by each team. So like in some cases, the elder player could pick, the person who had been on the most Ryder Cups, or the veterans got to pick what ball. Some players didn't care. Like Rombo literally doesn't care. Like he's like, if one guy's hell bent on playing his ball, I literally will play anything. But
Sure.
modern times, if Rombo tees off, they're going to play his ball. Some teams decide to just play one ball the whole time so they can just get the same feels off every shot. So you're not going from ball to ball, which I think is actually probably a better way to go, if I'm being honest. So where it gets interesting is how they're pairing.
What's the alternative to that? Can they switch per hole?
Per hole. So if Rombo's teeing off a one, they can play with his ball throughout. And if Hatton tees off on the next hole, they would play Hatton's ball.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought it was on the first tee.
To my understanding, that's how it works. So obviously you're not, if Rom goes to Tyrrell Hatton's, drive, he's not going to take Tyrrell's ball out of play and put a chrome like that's not happening. Yeah. So you basically map it out, just going, okay, you're going to hit this tee ball with your ball, blah, blah, blah. From what it sounded like, I asked Rombo, I'm like, what ball are you going to play? And Rombo, was it Rombo or Hazy? I forget who told me this. Anyway, it's been a whirlwind day. But the way they made it sound was like, no, Rombo's going to play Tyrrell's ball, which is not a big deal because one guy plays Chrome Tour. Well, it's Chrome Soft X 2020. It's like the Chrome Soft X from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is a really spinny golf ball. And then Tyrrell plays Pro V1X.
Yeah.
So you could make the argument that for a player like Rom, it's not that big of a deal. Like, so, some players are like, I don't like, who cares? Now, where it gets interesting is how America's sort of pairing up their teams. And this is where it gets pretty interesting. So Bryson DeChambeau and Justin Thomas, the rumor is that they are going to be paired together. And they played, so the foursomes went out. It was Bryson, Ben Griffin, Justin Thomas, and I'm missing one player. Who's the fourth in that one? So Bryson, JT, Ben Griffin, and I'm missing one guy. That was in that bundle.
Is Sam in that group?
No, so Sam, Xander, Cantlay, and JJ Spawn played together.
So they're going to put Sam and JJ together?
No, I think they're going to put Sam and Xander together, or Xander and JJ together, or Sam and.
They're going to split up. They're going to.
I don't. Dude, it's funny. I can't pick up. And I walked a few holes. I talked to Jamie Mulligan. I talked to Xander, and like Xander's like, I don't like. We haven't really decided on. We have an idea. We have a pretty good idea who's playing with who. He didn't necessarily say he was playing with Cantlay. I'm not getting the vibe that Xander and Cantlay are playing together.
Weird.
I could be wrong. I'm just not getting that vibe. I'm getting more of a vibe that Sam that Xander's going to play with JJ Spawn, and Cantlay and Burns are going to play together. Which both of them are awesome pairs. Like those are both great.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Who's the four? Who am I missing? Ben Griffin, Bryson DeChambeau, Justin Thomas, and who? I got videos of the guy. Who was the fourth? No, it wasn't Russell Henley. It wasn't Scotty. It wasn't Colin Morikawa.
Cam Young.
Cam Young. It was Cam Young.
Okay. Cam Young, Ben Griffin. Oh wow.
Is that who it was? Yeah, it was Cam Young. It was. I'm pretty sure it was Cam Young.
That could get fun.
Is that right, or am I losing my mind? Anyway,
could be both.
It could be both. Sorry, it's been a long day. But Bryson and JT play the same golf ball. They both play Pro V1X.
Is Bryson playing his Pro V1X Bryson ball?
No,
or no?
He's playing Pro V1. He's playing X25.
Is Cam Young playing the Bryson ball?
Cam Young's playing the double dot, which is the Bryson ball, the one that he.
Yeah, that's
the one that he helped with. Yes.
Because I honestly thought that Cam Young and Bryson were going to be a great pair because they could both play that ball.
No, I don't think. But I think the idea is if they did pair up together, then because you got to keep in mind that they're thinking about 4-ball and alternate shot.
Yeah.
So Cam Young and Bryson would be a great squad. I guess it would be a 4-ball. But is that what this? I'm so dude, my brain's so washed right now. 4-balls, alternate shot, and 4-ball is the best ball, right? That's a 4-ball.
Yeah, because foursomes is just playing
its best ball. The two.
Yeah.
and then alternate shot. Fuck, dude, my fucking brain. Um, so, and I got caught up on that like an hour ago. I was trying to explain, what the strategy is with the golf balls. And I did the same thing. I'm like, wait a second, am I saying that four ball? Like, fuck, like I'm so tired.
Yeah, I get confused on that still. So
Anyway, but then you go to Rory and Tommy are for sure. I'm almost positive they're going to play together.
sure.
Easy transfer. My hunch is that they're going to play Rory's ball because both have experience with both balls, oddly enough, even though Tommy's is early days, but they both know that ball, both of them well enough. So that's like an easy one. I'm curious to see. I'm actually very curious to see, like, so if Scotty's in Pro V1, I don't know who they're gonna pair Scotty Scheffler up with. I literally have no idea who they'll pair him up with. But there is a little bit of that going on, of like who plays what ball, who's gonna pair up, like who's making the biggest adjustment. So like I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, we were talking about this in our text chat, but that literally did happen where a player was going to play with Tony Finau because they played well together, but an alternate shot it would have been a problem because the golf ball that they played was completely different. So you can't.
Finau's in left dot, which is a very different
Which
ball.
is just knee-high fastballs. Like it launches low. So that was a little bit of that was going on. They were trying to figure out. Ben Griffin's caddy, who's a great dude, said,
such a good guy.
Yeah, so like his whole thing was like, to be honest, we haven't really decided that yet. Like, well, some players are figuring that part out. Like, as far as if they're going to play one ball the whole time or if they're going to flip flop from tee to tee, they're letting the teams figure that out. So Keegan's not going up there and saying you guys need to all do it this way. He's completely leaving it up to the teams.
When's the last time a Max Fly golf ball was in the Ryder Cup?
Well, I could probably answer this. Let me think. So Fred Couples played the Revolution golf ball in '97 at Valderrama. So that was a Max Fly golf ball.
Okay.
1999. I'm going through the list. I don't think there was any. I can't speak to the Euro players, but I know on the American side there was no. It was all Titleist, and like Tiger was Titleist back then. It was basically almost all Titleist, I think, because it was like Davis, David Duval, Tom Lehman, Tiger, Justin Leonard played Titleist golf ball. Honestly, probably Fred Couples.
Let's see if ChatGPT knows.
My guess would be Fred Couples in 1997. Because by 99 or 2000, Nike took over and the main golf balls on tour were, and that TaylorMade had a very, very small footprint. So you had Callaway golf balls in play, a few, but that didn't really take place till 2004, 2005. Is that when the titles, like when Rule 35 came? Isn't that when that was in like the mid 2000s?
Yeah.
I think Rocco was the first person.
I was in first grade, Johnny.
So that was 23 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think that's when it was. So at that point, after 97, Pro V1 came out in 2000, in the end of 2000. Nike came out with their golf ball. You had, I think Strata was still sort of a thing. Top Flight had a golf ball that was decent. I know Payne Stewart played it like in 99, 2000. Actually, no. Payne Stewart used a Titleist golf ball, the one at Pinehurst. So he was out of Strata at that point. I think Marco Mira won the 98 Masters with a Strata.
You're right. 97, Fred Couples.
There you go. Good guess. Max Fly Revolution.
It's not a guess when you're so rich in intelligence.
That's my, like, you start talking about like pre like 2010, and you start going back to like the early 90s. Like that's when I like that. Like that's where like my wiki.
It's all right here. It's all right here.
Yeah, that's when I start.
I will say with the consumerism power that Dick's Sporting Goods has, I am bewildered that there is not some sort of Ryder Cup max fly ball.
I am too, but it's one player.
But it is the one player. It's the only
I know,
player.
I get it, but it's a
like
to do those activations, they're pretty big. I mean, it's a pretty big marketing activation if you're even in a small way. Like it's a thought, and I don't know. I know Golf Galaxy is taking this max fly thing very seriously, like very, very seriously.
yeah,
As
the
far as
irons are really good too.
yeah, pushing, but especially with the golf ball, like they're digging in, like
Oh yeah,
they want to chew up some market share, and it's a good golf ball. I actually
they're
finally
great. Yeah,
was able to go hit some 8 and 9 irons with that Tour X, and then the other one, and I thought it's a great golf ball. Feels amazing. But yeah, so anyway, if anyone wants to know, I know it's a scattered thought, but if you want to know about the strategy about who's going to play what golf ball and how that works out, I think you're going to see most of the teams go from tee to tee with a golf ball, an alternate shot, with a few select teams maybe just picking a ball. And just like I honestly think Rom's going to end up just playing a Pro V1X that day.
I think that takes some of the fun out of it. Like, I like the idea of having to be strategic enough down to the golf ball.
So do
to pair
I.
people up. Like, but to switch it hole by hole, it's like really off the driver. That's not going to be the difference maker. So they're going to probably pick the ball based off of who's hitting the approach shot.
But that's another decision that they have to make.
Right.
Right. Like you have to think about that. Like to be honest, I think all these golf balls off the driver really are within like a half of a percent of each other. Like they don't separate themselves at the driver. They separate themselves when you start getting to like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wedge and all the rest of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's when
more,
it matters.
Off the tee, it's more window than numbers. And then where it matters, like short game, like an 8 iron, that's where the difference is.
Even then with windows, the only guys it's really going to affect are the guys that are slightly down or zeroed out. Like your Xanders and your Scotties, like those are the only guys that are really going to see a difference. But the guys that hit up on it, like your Rombos and your Rorys and some of those other players, like you could be hitting a top fly tour edition and it's going to come out of the same window no matter what ball you're hitting.
Do you think that one of the team, so like hypothetically, bear with me here. Hypothetically, let's say that they have to pick a ball on the first tee and play that until the 18th green. Do you think that there is a team, USA or Europe, that is better suited for matchups in that scenario? Like, is one team going to have an easier time with that?
I don't think so. So if you're going through, like I have the team list here. So if you're going, down, like if we're just looking at the Euro players, so like you have Oberg, Titleist player, Fitzpatrick, Titleist player, Hatton, Titleist player, Rasmus plays I think he's in the Chrome Tour X. I have to ask him. Chrome Tour X, Chrome Tour X Plus. So he plays a pretty spinny golf ball. Vic Hovland's in a Pro V. Shane Lowry plays a Strata. I'm not a Strata, but a Strixon. Jesus, my brain. McIntyre's Titleist. Straka is a Strixon. Rosie is Titleist. Rombo is Chrome Tour X 2020, and Rory's a TP. Rory's TP5X. Or TP5. What's the TP5 and then Tommy's X, right?
Yeah.
So no, I don't think, for the Europe team, I don't think it's much of I don't think it matters all that much. Now the United States, it could get interesting because of the fact that some of these guys play. So Xander's ball is very specific. So like not everybody on this squad could theoretically want to play Xander's ball because specifically how it flies from 5 iron to wedge.
Does he play the dot?
He plays the dot, so it's kind of a flatter ball. Justin so Cam Young would be the closest to that with that double dot that he plays as far as how it flies.
Yeah.
But Scotty's Pro V1, JJ Spawn I think is he the diamond ball? Does he play the diamond ball? Strixon? I think so, yeah. I have to check. Ben Griffin plays Maxfly Tour X, which he could transfer into a Pro V1X easily off of that golf ball, so it's not affecting him all that much. I think Russell Henley, if memory serves, I think he's Pro V1. So I know Hovland's Pro V1, Henley's Pro V1X. So no, I don't think it favors one or the other. If there's going to be more complications, it would be with the U.S. team, just because a couple of their players played very specific golf balls, namely Schauffele and Young. Everybody else is pretty normal, but those two play a ball that is a one-off that flies a little bit different.
Yeah. Which
So,
ironically is similar.
Which yeah, I mean, if those two are playing together and they had to just pick a golf ball, both of them are going to be fine because they're both, I don't want to say high spin, but they both kind of launch it flat.
Yeah.
And the windows that they want to see it out of, they want it to fly, they want it to land more like an airplane than a bomb out of the sky. Is kind of how they control their golf balls, if that makes sense. But some interesting things going on though too, and this is kind of your wheelhouse. But as far as like people want to know what the other trends are, like as far as the counts are concerned. Obviously, a lot of Ventus in play. So if I'm going down here, we start with the Americans.
Oh, I've got this actually here. I have a note card. Ready for this?
Let me see if I can go off the top of my head here. So
All right.
Burns is blue 6TX. Cantlay is in GT or ZF, which is kind of the same shaft. Is it
ZF?
ZF, right? DeChambeau is in his Bryson shaft, LA Golf.
Yep.
Harris English. I believe. What is Harris English? Harris English is in like a Fuji. He's not in Atmos Blue still, is he? I know he's in his 3-wood. What does he have in his driver? TR Blue. Okay.
TR Blue.
Ben Griff is in the link. Russell Henley, I think, is in a Ventus Black. What's Henley in?
Russell Henley is in a RDX Smoke Black. He is the only player using Project X graphite.
So RDX Smoke. Okay, so he's in the black. Okay, but basically, it's essentially like a Ventus Black type profile. Colin Morikawa's in D+. Xander's in TD.
PD.
PD. TD or PD.
TD driver.
Yeah. PD. Spawn's in Ventus Black. Scotty's in Ventus Black. JT is in ZF, and Cam Young is in orange. So so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 Mitsubishi players. We have 1 Project X player, and then we have 1. What did you say Harris English is in? TR Blue? 1,
TR Blue.
2.
So there's 4 Ventuses. There's 5 Mitsubishi parts, a UST, an LA, and a Project X. Because Griffin is in the link.
1, 2.
4 Diamanas and 1 Tensei.
Yeah, 3, 4. And who's the 5th one? Who's the 5th? Oh, Xander. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there you go.
Cantlay, Xander, Morikawa, Thomas, Cam Young are Mitsubishi. And then you got Sam Burns, Harris English, Spawn, and Scheffler in Ventus.
They have 4, 4. You have 1 Link, 1 Project X. That's 10. 1 LA Golf.
Yep.
What are we missing? Missing 1.
5 Mitsubishi because you got the Tensei with Cam Young.
I had that one. 1, 2.
Did you get Justin Thomas?
3, 4, 5. No, I got it. 3, 4, 5. Okay, I just got it wrong. And then if you go to the Euro team, this is kind of. I always think this stuff's kind of fun, actually. Like talking about this stuff.
Dude, I literally have 8 index cards here of me just writing down a bunch of different ways to look at the shafts for each team.
Yeah, Oberg Ventus Black, Fitzpatrick Tensei Orange, Fleetwood TR Blue, Hatton is in BF or whatever that fifth,
TB.
Four is that what it's called? 4th gen Diamant Blue.
Diamant TB, yeah. 5th gen.
Rasmus, I don't know what Rasmus is in right now. Rasmus, it might be in Tensei. It might be in 1K Blue.
According to the last time we did a what's in the bag, it was TR Black.
For Rasmus, he goes back and forth between. I'll have to see what he's got tomorrow. He goes back and forth between 1K Blue and TR Black. Okay, so does his. They're all over the map with driver shafts. Vic Hovland's in T757 TR. Shane Lowry is in. Well, fuck, I don't know what he just changed drivers. What's he in?
Shane Lowry is in D+. He's been in D+
for that's right, forever. That's right.
Forever.
He's been in that shaft forever. That's correct.
Forever, yeah.
Bobby Mack's in DI. Rory's in Ventus Black. Rombo Ventus Black. Rosie is in WB. And Sepp Straka is in Ventus Blue, Avila Plus 6X.
Yep. And Hovland is still in the Speeder TR.
Yep. So there's the shaft. So as far as Fujikura on that team, they got 1, 2, for argument's sake, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Yep.
not all Venti. So six Venti, one Fuji proper, and then Mitsubishi's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Graphite Design has 1 on the Euro
Yep.
team.
Yeah. So depending on Rasmus, so the total count is Fuji has 11 and Mitsu has 9. If Rasmus is back in the Tensei blue, then it's 10-10.
Let's get the information while we're live on the show. Let's text him.
Let's do it.
What shaft is in your driver? In your driver.
And he would be the only Tensei player that's not in an orange.
Let's find out. Let's go right to the source.
So the interesting part, and I'm gonna write an article and do a social video on this, is the overwhelming amount of Fuji is Ventus and the overwhelming amount of Mitsubishi is Diamana, which is interesting because those are hypothetically non-congruent shaft families. Like Diamana would be more speeder and Ventus would be more Tensei.
Yep.
So, but it's funny if you look at the players, right? You've got Xander, Lowry, Rose, Morikawa, JT, and Cantlay in a Diamana product, which is a bit more linear of a tempo, less aggression in those swings. That again, separate tempo from speed, people. There's a huge difference.
You have one profile, so the one really quickly. So you have the Cantlay JT profile is a little bit more handle stiff. It's those and both of those guys pull on the handle, not hard, but hard enough to make it matter.
Yep. But not hard enough to play a Tensei or a Ventus.
No. And then PD is very soft in the handle and gets super stiff as it goes down. So which makes sense for Xander because he's got to have softness 100%. Somewhere. Yep. So I've always found that the guys which is a lot of the tour players, to be honest, everybody thinks the tour guys all hit up on it 5 or 6 and just hit these big nukes. Most of them are, I would say the average angle of attack on tour, if I was going to guess, is like 1.5. Like most of them are pretty zeroed out. Maybe 2. I'd say I
was going to say 2.
If it's 2, fine. 1 would be low. 3 would be like, I don't think so. Like 3 would be on the high end. But most of those players, a good number of them anyway, tend to like softness somewhere. Like I said, so for argument's sake, the fact that Scotty Scheffler's angle of attack is what it is, and he responds to Ventus Black so well is actually kind of surprising. Right. So like Rombo hits up on it. Rory hits up on it. But JJ Spawn hits down on it. Ventus Black.
Yep.
Scotty, kind of the same pattern, hits it down. I've always found the more my angle of attack goes down with Ventus Black, the more inefficient that shaft becomes. And that's when blue becomes really good.
So I've been wanting to talk to Adrian about this, and maybe you can. I wonder if, because of Scotty being Scotty, and I don't know that he is much of an equipment guy rather than just, hey, this feels bad, this feels good, like this does what I want it to do, this doesn't. It'd be an interesting thing because I've heard it with JJ before too, is that it's a build feeling, which would lend itself into being more about swing weight. So with the Ventus Black product, hitting down on it like they do, but at such an aggression that they have, I'd be interested to know what they're doing with those head weights, because
it's not
head weights are a little bit.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Like with Scotty, Scotty specifically is interesting because Scotty has a ton of internal weight in his driver. So on his dot head, on the QI10 dot head, there's that one weight down by the heel, which is why they made the dot head, and this new one has more weight to move around, right? So he's got quite a bit of internal weight, like out towards the toe. So his head has some, like, it's very specific to Scotty, but does play a very high swing weight. So
see, that makes a lot of sense.
That's the only thing in the thing that actually makes sense, is because when you have a shaft that's because he plays at a low loft too. So he plays an 8-degree head.
He plays an 8, yeah.
That's up to like 8.5 or 8.6 or whatever the loft is on his driver, right? So again, low launch, stiff all the way down profile, hitting down on it with a low loft. The only way to mitigate that, which is to harmonize with the player's feel that they want to feel, but then still get the ball kicked up. And it's not like he doesn't have a negative angle of attack. He still hits up on it enough.
Yeah,
Right.
course,
Because if you guys have all seen his swing, he's got a big, huge arc. Like he's a big, tall kid. Like it's not like he has trouble getting the ball in the air. But one of the ways to cheat that feel is to make the head weight heavy.
Yep.
Which softens the profile a little bit. So if you're gonna create an element of dynamic loft for the player, the easiest way to do that is with swing. We get the head to swing faster. Yeah, to do that. Which is, can you go to
sense.
It makes but unless you really to a normal person that will look at that, like if you and I didn't have access to tour and really understand the spec, it shouldn't make sense unless you knew that little nugget, that little swing weight nugget. I think his driver's like D5 or something like that. It's a really heavy swing weight. So can you guys get that done at a true spec to that nuance? Probably not. But at a tour level, you are trying to match numbers to a feel as opposed to matching a feel to the right numbers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is Scotty Scheffler you do, Fleetwood you do, Rory you do. So anyways, really nerdy shit, but anyway, it's kind of fun.
So the other thing to throw in here real quick, we'll finish up with the shafts first here. I don't know if you had anything else on the shafts.
I just keep cooking. What do you got? Let's talk. Let's
so the other thing, and this is such a niche thing. So Victor Hovland, who is technically a paid Puma athlete,
right,
has not worn a Puma shoe for a while.
Right.
He this week is in a European Ryder Cup edition Puma Ignite
They're
Elevate
sick.
Tour.
Yeah,
they're sick, but he's back in a Puma shoe, which I don't like. He's not been biding by the contract for like 8 months, so I don't think it's financially motivated for him to switch back into those shoes. So my head is immediately thinking like they did something to those shoes to get him back in them specifically for this. And I genuinely don't think it was financially motivated. I would be really curious
to look at the bottom of that shoe.
Yeah, because it's Polo Tour Flex Pros, which is not a shocker. He doesn't have any pro stingers in there actually, which I thought he would. But for him, I had heard that it was a saddle issue. So like the way that it locked in the top of his foot was the problem, not the way it was stable in the bottom.
Right.
I don't know if that's something you want to mess around with tomorrow.
I can find that out because the fun thing about the True Temper truck is it is a catch-all. So for everything, yesterday, speaking of Charles Woodward, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, Matt Fitzpatrick, this guy came on the truck and they were freaking out because they didn't have any spikes. And he plays those orange ones with a I guess they're stingers, but they're metal, they're nails, but they have that little orange buckle. Yep. And he came on the truck. He was like, dude, I don't have I need some spikes. And luckily Connor was on the truck and Connor opened up like the Bryson golf first aid kit, which is a suitcase with like gloves and tees. And he opens up it's a suitcase, dude. It's like this fucking big.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So Connor goes, I'm not gonna say what Connor said, like, okay, but you gotta do this for me. Because obviously it went off the train tracks.
Yeah.
But he opens up. I go, Connor, do you have like spikes in your pocket? Like, where are you getting these spikes from? Because I know Randy and Lego don't have any spikes on this truck. Like,
no, definitely not.
Chance. Yeah. And he goes, no. He's like, see that suitcase over there in the corner? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, wait till I open that thing. And he opens it up, and it's literally a Bryson DeChambeau first aid kit. So he had bags of spikes. So Connor's pulling out spikes. And the guy looks at me. He's like, well, he's got like 4 pairs of shoes. He's like, I'm going to need more spikes than this. So, and obviously Connor's like, well, I just unloaded. I opened up the first aid kit. This is what I have. Like, I can't give you all my spikes because Bryson's going to wring my neck.
Yeah.
Because Bryson goes through spikes like crazy. So knowing what I know of our friend, I called him. I said, Charlie, I need 2 sets of nails for some Skechers for Matt Fitzpatrick, and I need them delivered tomorrow. Yeah. And they showed up today to Fitzy's hotel, so he's got them.
Amazing, yeah.
But that
was Skechers.
On Skechers. That was the first
Skechers.
thing. He came on and goes, he goes, do you have spikes for Skechers? And I looked at him, I was like, nobody wears Skechers. Like, nobody's got spikes for those things.
Dude, the Skechers shoes are really good. I made that video.
I know.
I got a bunch of people like.
I couldn't help myself.
They're really good. They're so comfortable.
I literally asked him, I'm like, do they have wheels on the bottom of those things too? Like,
dude, you know what'd be sick is if you could get little interchangeable, like little casters.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
In the spike thing. That'd be amazing. Yeah. Oh, I'm taking that. That's my idea. Nobody steal it.
Anyway,
we're gonna get replaceable casters so you can roll around.
I ended up doing some emergency work for Lego and Randall this week, and which is, I do know, to be honest, like, I love that more than anything. Like, you know, and it's all simple stuff too. It's regrips, and it's but I gotta say, man, at 48 years old, and I love, especially like on certain trucks. Like I don't get this on the Callaway truck because Kellen's there, and Kellen's like, don't touch, like get out of my way. But like if I go in the True Temper truck and I'm in there helping, they're always like, yeah, dude, please, like, can you help him? Can you help him? Yeah, they trust me to go out and do the. Am I going to reshaft a set of irons? No, but like if somebody came on and wanted like regrips or loft and lies check, like 100%. And as a true gear junkie, coming from where we came from, like, you know, just a couple of knuckleheads from the street, to me, that's like, I'm like, this is cool. Like, I'm at the Ryder Cup. Like, I'm in here with my guys. Like, you know, I'm not doing much. I'm just putting some grips on some clothes. But in that moment, I was like, you know what? Life's good. Like, this is pretty fun.
Dude, so I actually have a story that goes right along with that. And I'm going to try to tell this in the least egotistical way possible, but I kind of can't help it because I feel really good about this. So Letitia Beck officially has secured her LPGA Tour card.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I fit Letitia 2 months ago into a driver, and since then her driving stats have skyrocketed. Her average driving distance has gone up 13 yards. Like she's killing it. And I reached out to her today to say congratulations because it was officially announced she got her card. And
that's amazing, dude.
The first thing, literally, she goes, wait, where this is like, I messaged her and she's like, where are you based again? I was like, I'm outside Chicago. And she's like, well, can you be in Florida? And I was like, I mean, sometimes. And then I told her I was coming next week. The very first thing she says is she goes, we need to figure out this 3-wood. And like the fact that the fit happened and she's succeeded and like I have any small part in that. Obviously, she's a tremendous athlete, right? Like tremendous athlete. She's a very, very good golfer. But the fact that she's giving me any credit for that, and then also that she like she did whatever she could to make sure that I have like a 2-hour block to work with her on the range at the Tour Championships next week. Is an insane feeling. And like I can't wait to do more of that. I just love it. I think it's so
much
cool.
fun, dude. Like
it's just so fun.
It's like I love because I have my main player, I'm not going to say his name because that's just not my style, but I have my 6'3" San Francisco guard, you know, bag that my guy, like the bag that I'm most proud of. I'm not going to say his name.
Like, but everybody knows.
But I'm super like that bag I'm proud of. Like in when like he won a tournament in Tahoe a couple of years ago. And with my bag, the one that I kind of helped him build and we got him fitted and got him all dialed, like to me, I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, that's pretty cool. But now these days, what I get a lot of, which I love, and you saw it firsthand at Live, like, I love when Charlie Howell calls me and I love when Anthony Kim calls me and they're like, okay, what about this? And I'm looking at that. Like I just sent Anthony Kim a set of, which is an interesting story, but like he was playing a set of Titleist blades forever and he really liked him. So when he came back, he had some options for equipment, but he doesn't understand. I don't want to say he doesn't understand equipment, but he doesn't understand modern equipment. And he doesn't doesn't speak CG. He's not that guy. It's all feel for him.
Yeah. He's not a TrackMan guy. He's a look at it and feel it guy.
He just wants to see it fly through a certain window. And he wants to, he just has, so the Titleist like satisfied him, whatever he was looking for.
Yeah.
But he calls me and he goes, dude, I'm having some trouble with my irons. Like I'm having some trouble like aiming these irons. If that makes sense. He's like, my lines are off. And I'm like, okay. And he's an elite ball striker. Even now. Yeah. He's hitting it better now than he ever has. But he's like Anthony Kim is still Anthony Kim. Like he's a savant. So he calls me and he's like, I'm just having a hard time. And then I started explaining to him blade lengths and top lines. And I said, here's the deal. You played the best golf of your life in college and in the pros with a set of Nikes. The irons that
Mhm.
you have, these Titleists, are a different planet, CG wise, shape wise, than the Nikes that you grew up playing. So what you're used to looking at is a toe that runs away from you, kind of a flat leading edge, so there's no pinch to the toe. It looks right biased. And I'm like, you need an iron that looks right biased. And the only one I can think of off the top of my head is P7TW. Like that
I
iron
was
is
gonna
a
say, yeah, TWs, yeah,
it's a Nike iron, and it's got
yeah.
a right bias to it. And for faders, it's the if you hit it straight or you fade it, it's a great iron. So I said, let me send you a set of these P7TWs, and I'm like, I'm actually going to make them standard just so you'll get used to them. I'll kind of spec them out. And Adrian Riedfeld sent the set over to him, and he instantly, like day one, started hitting them and fell in love. He's like, oh my god, that's my ball flight from like 15 years ago.
That's awesome.
Like just down the line, falling right, down the line, not starting left, just down the line, falling right. Because like with every club, and I'm like, I had a hunch that iron was going to work for me because that's essentially a Nike iron. It's a TaylorMade iron,
Yeah,
but it's got Nike influence in it, right?
sure,
But
yeah,
I had, but you know, in the days after, like he would text me like, okay, these irons are fire, like these are in the bag, man. I'm really excited about my iron, but for my own ego, I'm sitting there just going, I love that I've
yeah.
been studying this guy's bag for 10 years. I've written so many articles on him. I know his bag so well. Like to
It's just a
just
cool
be,
feeling.
it's a great feeling. And the
Yeah,
folks at home would be like, oh, you two assholes, like good for you. But to gearheads
yeah,
like us,
yeah.
like I love when Charlie calls and asks me questions. Like he's on the driver hunt right now. He's like, you know, he's in the rabbit hole. So every day he's like, I just tried the PXG driver. I just tried the LS. This is what it's doing.
Yeah.
And dude, I nerd out on those conversations so hard. I got time for that all fucking day.
It's
Um,
it's funny because like so the UST event, just circling back to that, like when we showed up, like obviously Nuts and I are buddies, right? So we showed up
he's the
and
greatest, by the
you
way.
know,
I love
like
that guy, dude.
I have, by the way, I have a video. I don't know when I'm gonna upload it, but I have a video. I shoved my 360 cam like in my belt on my back, and Knudsen made the only hole in one during our like putting competition thing, and it's wild. Anyhow, uh, but like Knudsen and I are kind of standing there with all these like influencers, you know, and we're like, did we get invited to the right thing? Like,
Right. We're
was
gear
this for
guys.
us? But then, like throughout the course of the event, like both him and I, like we're talking to people and they started figuring out who we were and like what we do. So some of the creators were like, hey, wait, what do you think about this? Or like, could I make this adjustment? Or like I would, you know, suggest stuff. Like I talked to Ellie a bunch about her equipment because she has a TaylorMade deal and she gets fit overseas with TaylorMade crew, but obviously she was in new parts because of the event and stuff. And I had seen some things in her ball fight and I was like, hey, like, you know, I think if you make this tiny little adjustment or whatever, like she was in something that was launching initially really well, but it was falling out of the air. And we looked at her driver and she's playing a TaylorMade core with a 13 in the front and a 3 in the back. And I was like,
Yeah.
hey, just for the sake of, you know, whatever, like just see what happens if you flip those, you know, like, but like little stuff like that, like I would rather be put in a position to just stand on a range and have those conversations with people and watch people walk away with a smile because they're hitting the ball a little bit better
Right.
than anything else in the world. Like I don't necessarily want to be a fitter. Like I don't think either one of us want to be a fitter because
No, but I like being
it's not a great job.
but I do like being a
Yeah.
gear dork that can answer questions. Like I love
I like being a consultant.
100%. Like that's the
Yeah.
so I love, like I have my guys. I have, you know, sort of Sam Horsfield. I have AK in a small way. Charlie, you know, obviously Charlie's big,
Yeah.
but I need like 4 or 5 players. I got John Smoltz. Like, you know, I have about 4 or 5 guys that are super engaged that just like are like so nerded out on equipment, and
Yeah.
they have problems and I help them solve them. And if I get it right, they call me like, "Oh my god, okay, that was it. Like that this is now
Yeah.
we're cooking." And it's the
Yeah.
best feeling ever.
Well, the
And
trust there is phenomenal too, right? Like that's the
well,
cool part.
until you
It's
get
just
it
the trust.
but with tour players, until you get it wrong. Until
Well,
you have an idea that's just like way off the
but
reservation.
but like but okay, but so hear me out on that though. Like your players, like your guys, right? Like if you tell Charlie, hey, like I kind of think this might work and it sucks, he's not gonna abandon you. He's just gonna be like, Johnny, that was dumb.
Yeah, it
right?
just
Like,
didn't work. But
and then he's going to try the next thing, which is very different than trying to get into the hands of somebody and say something and like put your neck out there for them to try something, and then they hate it and then they never want to talk to you again. There's a
right.
very big difference in those two things, right? Like you have enough trust established with a guy like Charlie or with like Rocco that if you throw something out there that's kind of a wild idea and it doesn't work, like life's going to go on. It's okay.
Right.
That relationship is fine. And I like my goal is to try to get more of those with like Epson LPGA stuff, which I have a couple right now, and it's just really fun.
It's awesome.
One question I do have for you, by the way.
Yeah.
So the truck this week is True Temper.
Yep.
How many of the guys are not playing a True Temper iron shaft? Like it's not a lot.
The only person, let me see. Oberg's KBS.
Hovland's KBS.
Hovland's KBS. Shane Lowry is KBS. That's 3. Bobby Max True Temper. Tyrrell's Nippon. Rasmus is KBS. So KBS has 1, 2, 3, 4. Sep Straka's X100. Rosie is True Temper. Rombo's 6.5. Rory's 7.0. So KBS has a bunch of, KBS has 4. Burns is 6.5. Cantley's X100. Bryson's LA Golf. Harris English is X100. Ben Griffin's X100. Russell Henley's X100. Collins X100. Xander is X1. JJ Spawn is X100 too, right? Yeah. Yeah. Scotty's X100. JT's X100. Cam Young is X100. So on the US side,
they have 19.
Yeah, US side they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the US side. Bryson's the only one that doesn't. And then on the Europe side, they have 1, 2. So what did I say? 11. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 to 24. Is that right?
And it's so 18 to 24. So it's
18 or 19
LA.
players are in True Temper iron shafts.
Well, yeah, no, that makes sense. 4 KBS, 1 LA, and 1 Nippon.
Yep. There you go.
Right? Yeah, so 18. Right. Yeah. But that's also a very good reason for the True Temper truck to be out there is like if you're talking about a very, very fairly brand agnostic company that isn't going to ruffle any feathers.
No, they're Sweden.
Right?
Like I said that in the video. It's the reason why is because they wanted a nonpartisan truck to be there that could service pretty much any needs of the players without getting into the club weeds. Because the Ryder Cup wants to keep it about the matches. It's not about the business of sports marketing, and you don't see reps flying all over the place. Like Adrian's the only rep that I know of that's here. Harry Shee from TrackMan's here, but that makes sense because TrackMan's obviously got a huge presence. But yeah, that's all you see. And to be honest, it's actually quite refreshing. It's actually really, really nice. As much as I love seeing all my rep buddies, I love seeing KO and all the boys out on tour. It is kind of cool to just have that truck, that True Temper truck. And it's really simple. And it's not about the equipment this week. It's about the matches. And it's, if you guys will watch it on TV, but the footprint of this golf tournament, I've been to 4, 8, 12. I've been to probably 15 or 20 majors in my time. This footprint of this golf tournament is 3x larger than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, I went to Whistling Straits, and it's a wild scene.
But this is supposed to be as far as corporate sales, because you got to remember, like if you go down number 1, if you look down number 1 tee, on the left side of number 1 tee, which kind of looks back onto sort of the back part of the property, there's buildings there. So the corporate structures are like 3-level buildings. Some are like townhomes. Some are like fucking hotels. I guarantee they're all going for $100,000 a day. I mean, and each building has 3 or 4, corporate partners that are in
for
there.
Sure.
The money around this tournament. So it's not necessarily big build out, expansive wise. It's all going up. Like it's almost like they're building cities. So imagine number 16 at at Waste Management, but just in different parts of the golf course. Like they have all these little
Yeah.
like it's in dude,
Crazy. It's
it's
insane.
insane.
Yeah.
You got 47 showing up on Friday, so Friday is going to be.
Oh, did he announce he's coming?
He's coming. He's coming in the afternoon, which is
All
just going
right.
to be electric.
Yep.
Secret Service is already there. You can't see him, but I talked to a couple of the because you have state, local, and
Yeah.
city police there. And I was talking to the guy that was covering Bryson and said, "What's how at what point does the Secret Service and the FBI get involved, starting to monitor the property?" He's like, "Oh, bro, they've been monitoring this place for like the last 5 days." He's like, "They're all here. You just can't see them." He's
Well,
like,
yeah, especially lately.
"Yeah, they're here." So I'm like, "What does that do for your guys' job?" He's like, "When the president's coming in, what Secret Service does is tell local law enforcement we need crowd control. They have a section of the cops that are protecting the players, so they each have personal details. We'll deal with the president." FBI and Secret Service, like, we got the president. Just make sure that you keep everything else at bay. But as far as the
Yeah.
president navigating around, we got it from here. Like, you guys stay out of our way.
I bet. Yeah. I
Yeah.
bet.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk really quick about our predictions because we're already an hour. We've talked about so much. What a great conversation today. Jeez, we went deep.
It's because we don't have a mediator this week.
I know. Okay, let's talk about our picks. I made my prediction on the Rocco show on Monday.
Oh,
I'll call it out right now. I think Europe's gonna win 15-13. I think they just got too many horses. And another thing, so people would say the crowd's gonna be a factor. Do you know what the European Ryder Cup team's doing? Every single hole. So I walked 9 holes with Rombo and Hatton and those guys. Every single hole on the way to their second shots, the whole team goes up and down the ropes signing autographs for everybody. So it's just and then in between tee boxes, in between the green and the tee boxes, they all stop, they sign 20 or 30 autographs, and then they move on.
that's amazing.
There's a reason for that. Like, let's butter these people up.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
let's butter them up. And whenever people will say stupid stuff like from the grandstands, like, like, "Hey, Ron, where's your shorts?" It's this, you guys wear shorts on live. Like, there's a bunch of that. And why'd you leave? You're scared of these guys, and blah 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 blah. And Rombo will just turn around and be like, yeah, you're right. You got me. That was, or if somebody says something really funny, they'll go, "Yeah, that was a good one." They'll laugh with them. There's not like those menacing looks back to the crowd, like, "How dare you say that to me?" They're laughing at everything that's coming out. So if somebody says something really obnoxious, the teams will actually look at each other and start laughing, and somebody will turn around and go, "That was pretty good."
Like, it's gonna be. I don't have. For some reason, the betting odds have US as the favorites, and I just don't understand it.
Because they're playing in New York.
Yeah, but like, who cares? And also, I think head for head, like pound for pound, you talk about a bomber's course. Other than Bryson, that serves the European team quite well.
Well, let's go down the list here. Straka's not a bomber. Straka's is very efficient. Rosie hits it far enough. Rahm bombs it. McIlroy bombs it. McIntyre actually sneaky bombs it. Lowry hits it far enough. Hovland hits it far enough. Rasmus is absolutely nukes it. Yeah. Tyrrell Hatton hits it straighter than anybody in the world. Fleetwood's fine. Fitzpatrick is bombing it, and Ludwig bombs it.
Yeah, so
their short guys are all pinpoint accurate, and their long guys are all long, right? And if you're going to take their 2 premier drivers of the golf ball on this team, which would be Rombo and McIlroy, 2 of the best drivers of the golf ball in the world, like they're so stacked. I mean, I'm looking at all these pictures right now. If Sepp Straka is arguably your least powerful player, like that guy's still on damn near on the Avengers team. Like, Sepp Straka is world class. Like, the only thing he just hasn't had a lot of reps this year because I think he had a child or something and then he got hurt.
Yeah,
but he's still world class ball striker, and this is a second shot golf course. So the greens aren't that gnarly. They're not that fast. Like, it's not like the greens are any kind of defense for this golf course. It's long. You got to hit the fairways and you got to hit good second shots. Other than that, once you get on the
Yeah.
green, it's fine. All these guys stripe it.
Yeah.
So I just don't see any holes. But then you can look at the U.S. team, like, you know, Cantlay's Cantlay. Cantlay's he's a tactician, so he's going to be there. Bryson is incredible.
Do you
Harris
think he
English.
drives? Do you think Bryson drives the first green?
Well, did you see my Instagram today?
I did.
He took an absolute schlack at it because they moved the tee so you could try to cut the dog leg off, and he goes, "How far is it to cover the trees?" And somebody goes like, it's like 321 or something like that. He's like, "Oh, whatever." He takes this big schlacking, and I think his drive ended up in the right rough, just off the green.
So I was there at Whistling Straits when he drove that first green against Sergio.
Yeah, it's the most electric
And
tee-ball
and
in the Ryder Cup
oh
history.
my gosh, yeah! If he brings that energy to his singles match, which speaking of predictions, all I really care about, I think they're going to lose. Just to be clear, I actually think the margin's going to be wider.
Okay.
Would you say 15-13? I
I
think it's
said
going to be
15,
closer.
13.
I think it's going to be like 16 and a half, 11 and a half.
Okay.
Like I don't think it's going to be good. All I want out of this Ryder Cup is Bryson, Rory, Scotty, Rahm.
Oh my
That's all I
God.
want.
Yeah.
That's all I want. That's it. If they don't do, and more specifically, if they don't do Bryce and Rory, they are doing the sport of golf the world's biggest disservice.
I agree.
That's what everybody wants. That's what we need.
I couldn't agree more. I would love to see, even in singles, I would love to see Scotty and Rombo lock horns, and I'd love to see Bryson and Rory lock horns. After
that's my singles matches that I want. Yeah.
Whatever. Like I mean, and that was one of the reasons why I think it was a little bit of a miss, if I'm being super honest, that the U.S. team didn't pick Pat. Like, just if you're thinking about this as a momentum builder, like we're in New York, like what is really gonna not necessarily play well in New York, but what players in the U.S. side will really feed off of being in New York? I cannot believe Patrick Reed's not here. Like, can you imagine a Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Reed pairing in New York City? Like, do you have any idea?
Well, according to Brandel Chambly, Johnny, Bryson's the worst person on the planet. He's going to be a terrible partner, and everybody hates him.
Yeah, but then God bless Scotty Scheffler for being like just a man of God and an unbelievable human being. Gets up there and goes, "No, dude, we love him." And if you watch him on the golf course, like him and JT, like I mean, I walked 6 holes with those guys, and I'm right next to him. They're interacting, dude. They're talking. It's not like Dustin's like, and Bryson's just normal Bryson. It's not like Bryson's dialing it down.
No,
but they're having conversations and like they're laughing at each other and they're jarring back and forth. And I'm like, these guys love Bryson.
Yeah,
like there's no weirdness.
It was what a wild statement for him to have made. Yeah, and Xander came out too. Xander said he had a really cool statement about Bryson as well. And like he actually said that he thinks that Bryson is he's like the guy for the US. Like he's the one that's going to bring the difference in attitude and vibes and atmosphere this week. Like they're all looking at Bryson to be that, which is so ironic because it just further proves the point that Scotty Scheffler, being the dominant number 1 golfer in the world that he is, just somehow needs to find a way to be more exciting. Yeah, other than winning every tournament alive.
But we also can't ask Scotty Scheffler to be somebody he's not, right? Like it just so that's why I always equate him to Pete Sampras. The same critiques that Scotty Scheffler gets as a golfer is the same critique that Pete Sampras used to get when he was number 1 tennis player, which is like, this guy's world class. He's maybe the best ever, but God, I just wish he was a little bit more enthusiastic. I wish he was had a little bit more, pizzazz. But Pete Sampras is he's just showing up to kill you and he's going to leave. He's not going to shake your hand. He's not going to do a dance. That's just not his style. So, in events like this, and you know what the funny thing is, like Xander's the same way. Xander's super laid back. Like Xander's not the kind of guy that's gonna, he's not Bryson where he's gonna run through the stands and chest bump people. It's just not his style. And but what I'm seeing a lot from Bryson, just in watching him closely, like walking some holes and seeing him interact on the range and the putting green, like he's so encouraging. Like like I think Ben Griffin hit one. I actually got it on video. Ben Griffin hit a tee ball and tried to cut. It was a Ben Griffin or somebody else, but tried to kind of hit a little cutter off the corner. It didn't quite cut enough. And Bryson looked at him and goes, "Hey, dude, like that was like, I know it didn't go where you wanted it to go, but that was like gnarly golf swing. Like you're swinging it with a lot of confidence. You're like kind of like love what you're doing. Like this is cool."
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't like just being positive for positive's sake. He was just like, no, like you're playing good golf, dude. Like let's keep cracking the whip on you. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And you could see that the response back from the other guys is like, yeah, dude, like okay, like this is fun. And he he does this thing like, actually, I'll send you the video, Jake. You'll love it. But we're walking through the crowd and like up to one tee box, and Bryson like through every tee box, especially when they're tight between the ropes with the crowd, and he can high five everybody. He's walking through going, yeah, like fuck yeah, like he's high fiving everybody. And the funny thing is, on the next tee box, the next time there was an opportunity for the other US players to do it, they started doing it. So they start fist bumping everybody. They're getting into it, and it's because Bryson's like, they can see the reaction of the crowd with Bryson. They just see the whole crowd embracing this guy.
Yeah, I bet.
It's incredible. So anyway, we're an hour 20 into this thing. That's the Ryder Cup show, fully equipped. We didn't talk a lot about it, but we talked a little bit about equipment. We just kind of talked about whatever. It's a fun show. It's a nice show.
We just talked.
It was a nice piece today. I'm excited. I didn't know what we were going to talk about today. No agenda. Kind of came up with it as we started. But that is fully equipped. Episode 304. That is young Jake Morrow, made for the range. And of course, I am Johnny Wunder. But if you guys want to find us, go to Johnny_Wunder on IG or at Made for the Range on Instagram. You can find us on Fully Equipped. We need to build this channel up, so please like, subscribe, pass to your friends. We're trying to build this podcast up. Our goal, young Morrow, is to get the Fully Equipped YouTube channel up to 50K by the end of next year. Because if we're 50K, we're balling. We're playing. We're players in the game. That's the goal.
By the end of next year, we got that.
We got that. I think we can do that.
We got that.
We got that. Yeah. So I feel like you guys got the two best gearheads in the planet on this one platform. So get involved, get in big, get in now, so they say in the stock market. All right, kiddo. Have a great rest of your week. And I got to go eat. I just got a message from Tim Riley saying wrap that thing up so we can go eat. So we're going to go eat. Here we go.
Enjoy your food.
Adios.
Bye.